I mean, I just personally, it's really hard to work out a throuple. So, you know, I don't highly recommend it. The juggle's real.
You smart. You very smart.
They spend quality time together and they have sex without me. A lot. Me and her still haven't had sex, just me and her, just so you know.
Look, the trans. Come on, girl.
That's insane for me.
You are fired up over. You're so annoying and you're so fake and I'm tired of it. What?
Just when you thought you'd seen it all with Matt, Amani and Any, somehow, yet again, they've found a way to surprise us. Yeah, believe you me, the tell-all drama doesn't disappoint with these three. Same shit, different day. Or more accurately, same shit, but hold on, something is different. Very visibly different.
I did a couple of surgeries, I got a BBL, I've gotten a nose job. I felt the pressure to go do all these surgeries, to fit into this box.
Amani admits that she did have a lot of work done, but she says, I now regret doing it. Instead of feeling happier with her appearance, she now feels like she's lost something in the process. She's lost a part of herself. Now, she does look very different. Everyone can see that, and it's no surprise to learn that this topic of her surgery does come up numerous times throughout the course of the day. But with Amani getting all of the attention, it's easy to forget. I mean, it's been easy to forget all season given how little input he seems to have had. There is another member of this relationship called Matt. Hi Matt, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Now, thankfully, production give the guy a voice. They give him a platform to speak, and it turns out he's feeling very nervous about today.
So much has happened, it's gonna be a surprise where we're at today. I mean, I just personally, it's really hard to work out a throuple. So, you know, I don't highly recommend it. The juggle's real.
Forgive me for saying, Matt, but where was this level of insight, where was this common sense before you agreed to take part in a throuple? I mean, yes, it's better late than never, but it's too late now. You're in the middle of it. The juggling act is real, and based on what we've seen on our screens this season, it's not just real, it's a real mess. Now, as they make their way onto stage with Annie joining by video call, Sean, before diving into the state of their relationship, first wants to know about Amani's surgeries.
I got a nose job, a temporal lift. I got a BBL. I got a mini tummy tuck and lipo, yes.
Whoa,
That's
okay.
Look, I'm no expert, but surely doing that many surgeries in such a short space of time is quite a lot. It's intense. No wonder she looks so different. But, says Amani, unlike Shekinah over there, I'm not proud of myself for doing this. I wish I hadn't done it. I was swept up in the moment and influenced by social media and by outside forces. And now, as a result, I'm not happy with what I see staring back at me in the mirror.
I feel like I don't look like me anymore.
But you didn't want to look like yourself. That's why you got the surgery, right?
Well, I don't want to lose who I am and not look like myself.
Yeah, Shekinah certainly isn't being very supportive here, but Amani called her out first. She brought her into this conversation. She now has a right to respond, right? And she says that Amani clearly didn't do the surgery for the right reasons then. If she did it because of or for social media, if she did it for other people rather than her wanting to change, then she's gone about this all wrong, and you've got to agree. I mean, given the extent of everything she's had done, conveniently blaming it on something else like social media or other people rather than taking accountability for her own actions sounds very much in keeping with everything we've come to know about Amani, doesn't it? It's never her fault. But what's new here is there's a very palpable sense of tension between Amani and Shekinah. Why is that? What's going on here? Well, it turns out that tension has been simmering away for quite a while now.
She sent me a message and said, I do really like you, but I'm sorry in advance for the things I'm going to say about you at the tell-all. And I thought that was very calculated.
Now, from Shekinah's perspective, as someone who's been on multiple tell-alls in the past and knows what to expect a bit better than Amani probably does, this comes across as a premeditated attack. That's just not what you do if you claim to like someone. But Amani doesn't see it like that. She thinks this is yet another example of Shekinah, quote, being thirsty for screen time. That's so unnecessary. That was a private conversation. Why are you even bringing that up? She asks.
Of course, you had to come here and create drama about it.
You are so calculated.
Say that I'm calculated.
Calculated is the perfect
don't
word
totally
for
me.
you. You're calculated as
I think it's safe to say Amani and Shekinah aren't suddenly going to turn into BFFs anytime soon. There's no love lost here. But, as we find out shortly, there is even more to this story that they've yet to reveal. Now, for the time being, Sean diverts the conversation back to their relationship with Annie. Where do you stand today, she asks, because let's not forget the last time we saw them all was a disastrous day at the airport. It very much looked like it might all be over. So, are they now back together?
We never broke up.
Yeah,
You never broke up. How long were you not talking?
We took like
For
a week and a half of
We
not
don't talk
talking.
maybe
like,
1 month.
No, for a week. We didn't talk for a week after.
No.
Yeah, right. They're so united that they can't even agree on how long they weren't talking to each other. They eventually settle in the middle and say that it was about 2 weeks that they weren't talking. We barely exchanged any messages in that period, they say. But Annie is keen to stress that it was just a lover's tiff. She has her faults, but I could never split up with Amani. I love her too much.
She understands that sometimes she's too much dramatic, but I love her. I am staying with her.
Look at her. Amani's eating that up. She loves to hear that. Now, as it turns out, since that last big fight, things have actually been going well. In fact, they've made this yet more serious by actually introducing all of their kids to each other. They not only spent Christmas and New Year's together as one big happy family, but also as a celebration for one of Matt and Amani's daughter's birthdays, they all met up and spent time together in Mexico. I'm not quite sure that that's the gift that their daughter would have asked for. I don't know whether it was a gift for daughter or parents, but they tried to convince us. Our kids do understand that we are one big combined blended family now. But that does raise the question, especially with kids being involved. What made them decide on this lifestyle in the first place?
To give Amani a dream that she's had since childhood. She's always wanted to live that gay lifestyle, and I wish that I could give it to her.
So, according to Matt, this is all for Amani. He just wants what she wants, which, I mean, it does kind of check out given what we know about their dynamic. He is a doormat, or to put it more diplomatically, he is more than happy to just let her take the lead. Now, Matt does go on to say that he just wants to make sure that Amani is always happy, that she never has to give up anything for him. Keep that in mind because it crops back up in a hilarious way in just a minute. But on that topic of Matt being a pushover, Sapa wants to know if they always just go along with everything Amani wants. Like, do you just play out every fantasy that she has, for example? He asks.
It's not a fantasy. Bisexuality is not a phase. I want to be with women, but I also love my husband.
I don't know how y'all figure this stuff out. I'm telling you.
I'm with Sean on this one. This whole relationship sounds like a heck of a lot of work and drama. But they try to reassure her, we do actually have things a lot more figured out than what you saw on the show. Now, you might remember how on the show they had to set some ground rules after Matt and Annie got physical without Amani. From that moment onwards, they had to ask for permission every time they wanted to get intimate. But apparently, since Amani's a lot more comfortable now, that rule doesn't apply anymore. In fact, we're told Matt and Annie spend a lot of alone time together.
They spend quality time together and they have sex without me. A lot. Me and her still haven't had sex, just me and her, just so you know.
Wait a minute. Right, okay, so this whole relationship apparently only exists to make Amani happy, and yet it's Matt who's got the best of both worlds. He gets to sleep with both women, even though Amani and Annie have never been intimate without him being there too. I think I might need to take it all back. Maybe Matt isn't the pushover here. He's played the ultimate game, hasn't he? He's the one that's come out on top. He's the one that gets everything. But, for as suspicious as that might sound, get this, it actually gets even crazier.
I love that they're building, like, relationship and spending quality time together. In fact, he's been going to see Ani, and I can't go because of my job.
Okay, wait, what? So you're telling me that Amani stays at home working, making money and looking after the kids, while Matt and Annie go on solo trips together? Solo trips that are being paid for by Amani. And she really believes that this is all for her. How is Amani not getting this? Like, does she not see that she's quickly just becoming a third wheel in her own relationship? She's becoming nothing more than the bankroll. Like, they're the couple and she's just the piggy bank. But Amani doesn't see it like that. Like, she says she doesn't have any problem with them having passion, because from her end, she's just struggling to juggle everything. She doesn't have the bandwidth for anything else.
I can't be a mom and a business owner and also be able to have sex. I just can't do it all.
I understand.
And so you give a toy to Matt.
Wow, could that be it? Has this been the reason all along? Has Amani just essentially hired help? Is she willingly outsourcing the sexual element of her relationship with Matt because she's just either too exhausted or doesn't like that part of it? I mean, it sounds diabolical. She completely denies it, but it is a theory. Now, Annie does try to maintain that she's just as in love with Amani as she is with Matt, but they just don't get much alone time together. But the thing is, I'm not buying it. Are you really telling me that in all the time they've been in a relationship, they haven't been able to carve out even 10 minutes to have sex together, alone? And on top of that, just to add to the mix, Amani also goes on to imply that all the surgery she's had is because of Matt and Annie. They both made her feel like she had to.
They didn't say, go get a surgery. They said, like, I didn't look attractive as I used to. And
That never got mentioned.
you both said that I lost my ass.
That's what you presumed.
Annie and Matt both deny this. We never told her to get any surgery, they say. Now, we were worried that she was looking a bit too thin, she wasn't looking healthy, and she interpreted that as us saying that she wasn't attractive, but that wasn't what we meant. In fact, we even begged her not to have surgery, they say. But this is a very valuable lesson. For someone like Amani, someone with clear issues, you really do need to be very careful what you say. I mean, intentionally or not, their words made her feel ugly.
I don't want anybody to feel that way, especially my daughters. To me, plastic surgery is not a flex. You're gonna get it and then you're gonna find more flaws and then you keep getting it. That's how you're gonna end up with 3 facelifts.
I mean, it's an interesting choice to come out as an advocate against plastic surgery just a few weeks after having a major makeover. Now, Amani also seizes on the opportunity to have another dig at Shekinah. She says she's happy for Shekinah, she's glad that she wants to keep on having surgery, but that's not what I want to do, she says, and at this point, it's pretty clear that there is something deeper going on here. Like, Sean asks them flat out, why is it that you two don't like each other? And it turns out the cause of their hatred might be traced back to a very personal question. A question that Shekinah asked Amani, but didn't want ever to be repeated.
She asked if Ani was trans and told me not to tell Ani, but of course I told her,
You're not trustworthy. I literally asked
my
you to.
priority is to my girlfriend.
And while Shekinah might have asked her not to repeat that question, she wasn't going to hide something like that just because Shekinah asked her to. But Shekinah says that she doesn't understand why they were offended by the question. She says, trans women are beautiful. I think it's you guys that have the problem. It's you that have a problem with trans people. And that is when Annie gets involved too. And at this point, things get wild.
You're the trans. Come on, girl.
That's insane for me.
You are
You
fired
dragging
up
it too far
over-
away.
You're so annoying and you're so fake and I'm tired of it. What?
Hello? Gal, are you really that tone deaf? Aaliyah's right there. She's shocked at what she's just heard. I mean, it doesn't take much to have a little bit of social awareness, does it? But clearly that's something that Annie's lacking. I mean, you really are shooting yourself in the foot when in the same breath you say that you've got no problem with trans people, but then use the word as an insult. Now, this, unfortunately, is where the episode ends. But if you want to make sure that you don't miss my next update, and by the way, the second part of the tell-all looks absolutely insane, do me a favour, just double check that you've hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, if you've made it this far to this point in the video, do me a favour, hit that button now, please. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all your comments. I read them all. I really do appreciate you, and I'll catch you on the next video.